Hi, how's it going? It's been a while. I've been really busy. It's all good though, so I can't complain. It's just been a lot going on, huh? To say the least. In any case, with that being said, I just wanted to quickly come in here and talk a little bit about emotion. Okay. You'll hear me oftentimes use that synonymously with energy because it's contagious, right? That's why if there's a conflict going on in a room in whispered voices and we walk into the room, we can feel it, right? Because it's energy, it's emotion. And emotions are contagious. So oftentimes that's why we have to have those boundaries in place so that we're not picking up on how other people feel. It's kind of like that black smog effect, if you will. You walk into a room and someone's really negative, you leave that room feeling a little diminished unless you really have some good boundaries in place. So who knows, maybe you can give them a little light if you're in a good mood. But oftentimes it works more effectively the other way. So no matter how bright you may be shining, chances are if you're around people that are really negative, they're going to bring you down a notch. So boundaries are important. Doesn't mean we always have to leave the room or not be around particular people, but we really want to be mindful of the impact that people and things, events, or whatever can have on our energy, on our emotions. Okay? Synonymous. And it is. It's all true. I made a bet with a friend one time. I told her that I could clear a room without saying a word within 10 minutes. Just with my emotional state, just with my energy, right? And at the time, we bet $5. And $5 went a long way back then. I could fill my gas tank on $5 back then. So I sat down. Honestly, it only took me 5 minutes. There was probably about 6 people in the room. I sat down, and I just, with every fiber of my being was like, get out. I didn't say it, but that's what I was feeling. And 5 minutes, everyone left. It was actually really entertaining because I wasn't a big fan of who was in there anyway. So it was kind of funny. But that is the power of emotion. People don't like to feel unpleasant things, which can be subjective, right? Because what's unpleasant for me may be pleasant for somebody else to some degree. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of bring that to your attention that especially in these times where there's a lot of change going on and not necessarily everyone is for it. So you're going to have perfect example of subjective. You're going to have some people that are riding high right now, and you're going to have other people that are like, I don't even want to leave my house. Okay. There's no right or wrong with that. It's just the people that allow things to impact them to the point where it holds up their own life, they're not serving themselves. Okay. And we all do it here and there on occasion, but we don't want to let anyone necessarily, especially not someone we don't know personally, right, take rent-free space in our brain. And we certainly don't want to give away our happiness based on other people's choices. So if you ever hear me talk about pull your power back, that's what I'm referring to. Your happiness doesn't come from who's president or who moved next door, right? Or whatever. Or who am I working with this week or whatever. It only impacts our happiness when we allow it to. That being said, it doesn't mean that we won't be inconvenienced here and there with different things and other people's choices. But that's boundaries, right? I can be inconvenienced. That does not mean I have to submit to that and become angry or fall into a depressive state and allow all of the what ifs and the negative thoughts to, just control me. At the end of the day, like I've said in the past, any what if thoughts, whether for the positive or for the negative, are assumptions. They haven't happened if they're what if. Okay, if it's this could happen, well, it could, but something else could too. So where are you choosing to invest your energy? So with that, we plant a seed. If I'm thinking, oh, I could go to the store, but I could get into a car accident, so I'd rather not. Well, could, but I could also go to the store and get, I don't know, something for dinner and then not be hungry later, right? We choose the thoughts that we're going to focus on. That is a choice, whether we realize it or not, okay? And if I'm going to just choose to focus on everything that could go wrong, that's going to become my reality. Doesn't mean everything will go wrong, but it will for me because that's all I'm focused on. Because as I have said historically as well, you have positive things and negative things happening on a daily basis in your life. We all do. What we focus on the most is what our reality is going to be and how we feel, right? We're planting seeds here. So it's not that we want to ignore when things happen that are challenging for us. We just don't want to give them so much power that we can allow a challenge or a situation ruin our entire day. Okay. I guess that's what I mean. So the seeds you plant with the thoughts that you have and the belief systems that you're creating or sitting in, it creates a reality for you, and oftentimes a self-fulfilled prophecy. If I convince myself that, I'm just tired all the time, which I'm not, but I'm just saying, then my brain doesn't know the difference. If I'm saying I am, then my brain is identifying with that. And that will be my reality. Someone wise said to me recently, they said, because I was really tired that day and I was talking about it. And they said, you might feel better if you say, I feel tired versus identifying with being tired and saying I am. And it worked. In all honesty, I was like, oh my gosh. I've been playing with words a lot lately because they have power, especially in the brain. Your subconscious, your unconscious brain doesn't know that there's anyone else, really. It's so everything you tell it, even if you're judging someone else, it thinks it's about you. That's why it's not good to talk badly about people. Or at least I don't even want to say good or bad. Those are just judgments. I mean, they're all lessons for us to learn. It's not good for us even to talk badly about other people because that's a projection onto them. The only people that talk poorly about other people are the ones that are projecting their own wounds onto other people. And we've all done it. We have. I certainly try not to in my life, but doesn't excuse the fact that I have. Okay? So recognize that. If I'm picking on someone for something, chances are that's exposing some kind of wound within myself. Gossip is toxic. So talking about someone, it's different. Like if you're saying, oh, I know this person and let me give you their name because they can really help you with this and they're awesome and da-da-da. That's not gossip. But even something as simple as, I heard this about that person and I think that da-da-da-da-da-da, and then you go down this rabbit hole of negativity. If it hits negative, then it's probably negative. Okay? And we all have skeletons to some degree. Some are little bitty. Others are those big ones that you see. Sorry, I like levity. Anyway, my point is every single person alive is fallible. We're all fallible. None of us are perfect. There's no getting around that. No getting around it. So anyone who, and I say this over and over and over again, because you get a lot of people saying a lot of things, how does it feel? How does it hit? What is the energy that they're sharing with you? Is it negative? Is it trying to scare you? Is it trying to control you in some sense? Like, I want to control how you think about fill in the blank. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, doesn't matter. How is that impacting you? And how is that benefiting them? And that's for the ones that are deliberately trying to be manipulative. There's a lot of people that aren't deliberately necessarily trying to be manipulative, but that doesn't change the fact that they are, because maybe that's the environment they grew up in. That's what they learned. And they haven't taken the time to unlearn it and reprogram themselves. Well, all I know is that this is the time. There's some big doings happening in this world right now in positive ways, because that's how I choose to plant seeds, and that's the focus point that I like to go at. And that's why when people, I share with my life, which I thought has been a wonderful life, I share stories and people are like, how did you survive that? And I'm like, what do you mean? I was happy. What are you talking about? Because it hits different. I don't know, because I've always been a fairly positive person. Even in the worst of situations, I try to look at the positives. That doesn't mean I bury my head in the sand and ignore the fact that a tragedy just happened or this just happened. You got to be in it. You got to work through it. It's not about ignoring or distracting all the time. However, where are you planting your seeds? Are you always in a lack mentality, or are you always in a, I'm working towards something while enjoying my life in the process? Important stuff. Everyone's on different places, and therefore I'm not judging anyone, nor should anyone be judging me or anyone else for that matter. What was it? Great teacher once said, Jesus, Yeshua, he said, worry about, I'm botching this, but you get the point because everyone's heard it. Worry about the plank in your own eye before you worry about the stick in someone else's, right? We all got them. So, in any case, there's a lot of people that try to diminish other people, to battle their own insecurities and make themselves feel more significant or stronger or bigger than what they are. At the end of the day, there's not one person on this planet that's more important than the next. It's not a competition. The only person in this life that you will benefit from competing with is yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't have sports and other things. There is fun in competition. However, if you're one of those people that are so competitive, then you need to spend some time with your ego. Okay? That's all. We've all had to do it. Well, it's freedom of choice though, right? We all know at least one or two 80-year-olds that they decided they were never going to grow. You know, that's fine. That's their choice. That's why I have my boundaries. So be mindful of the contagion of emotions. That works for the positive. It also works for the negative. I brought someone to the doctor this morning, and I'm sitting there, and there's this little 3-year-old redheaded boy, and oh my God, So adorable. This little boy was so cute. And it reminded me of when my boys were little and I was like, oh my God. So I was helping mom out a little bit and I was talking to them and because that's what I do. Talk to anyone. I could talk to a wall. Talking to myself right now, right? Anyway. um, and I was really paying attention to the energy in the room. You know, he was putting out some serious light and it was beautiful. It was just precious. It was. It's funny how some people can just put a smile on your face and you don't even realize it sometimes. That's emotion, that's energy. So be mindful of the energy you pick up on. And there might be wonderful, wonderful people that are very healthy and awesome for your life and will one day be like, nope, I'm going to take space from you because maybe they're having a down day. I mean, it happens. We're all human. I'm talking statistically, what's the median here? You know, what is the average? What do you on average, how does this person make you feel, or this place, for instance? There's some places I don't like to go because I just, ugh, I don't know. I like to feel good. I do. So be mindful of that and put your boundaries in place for your protection. If you're really happy and you go into a store and you become ish, go get your happy back. Just elsewhere, right? Because maybe there was something in that, someone in that store that just brought you down a little bit. Doesn't make them evil or anything like that, but that's where we have to be accountable for ourselves. How am I feeling? Am I projecting on others, or am I being authentic to myself and being conscious and responsible for my own energy, my own emotions, and how I manage those? All right. Went way over. So I'm going to leave it there. Any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I hope everyone is doing well, regardless of how you feel about this election, how you feel about the holidays, how you feel about anything. This is usually a time for people coming into the holidays, depending on relationships and families with loved ones, whatever the case may be. So sending you light. That's when we want to be intentional with our energy and infuse some level of positivity if we can. What do they say? If you don't have anything nice to say nothing at all, right? Well, in my industry, it's if you can't help a situation, at the very least, do no harm. So do no harm. Don't project negativity onto other people. If you notice that that's your inclination, then sit with your wounds. Sit with the pain that's in your heart that you want to bleed on other people. Because it's not going to make it better for you by doing that. All it does is bring in karma. And karma is neither negative or positive. It's just balance. But you don't want that kind. You don't want to hurt someone and then have to get that kind of karma. Especially when it didn't have to happen. This is a time when we all need to work on ourselves. If we have negative patterns of behavior where we bring people down or hurt people or especially ourselves, that's not healthy for you if you're always planting those seeds of worst case scenario. Okay, but what's best case scenario? If you want to give facts on one end, play the devil's advocate. Well, what are facts to support the other end, especially in an argument or a debate or something like that? Step into someone else's shoes a little bit. It helps with forgiveness. It helps with a lot of things, but it's one step at a time. So give yourself grace and don't be afraid to sit with the things that seem really scary in your head to sit with. Because oftentimes things seem worse in our head than they actually are. But shine light on both ends, especially if it's a what if, because it helps with the balance. All right, again, any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day. Talk soon.